rough game from Thomas Howard, actually, in the first match of the doubleheader. A lot of those low pitches were kind of getting away from them, and it was something we saw from both sides, realistically. There's a few more errors than I think either team kind of wanted. However, whenever these balls are left high, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of batters just absolutely drive them. And again, just really attacking the outside. That's going to be called a strike, however. So just clipping the plate. Make it a 2-1 count for McCarroll. See if they continue to attack the outside or look to bring it on the inside now. And that was a bit more on the inside, but I think it was a bit more centered than they would have liked. A bit fortunate that McCarroll was a bit behind that, a bit too much speed for him, so that will be 2-2 count. So far, pretty good stuff actually from Quilter. The positioning on these pitches has been, for the most part, quite where they want them to be. As that one again goes to the outside. Contact made, but again, just a little bit behind it. McCarroll just struggling to kind of handle the speed on some of these faster pitches. Count will stay at 2-2. As we get set for the next pitch. That, oh, had a little bit more height on that. The swing and the miss. Again, it was the tempo change on that pitch. A little bit slower. And just kind of duck, run right underneath the bat. A little bit of curve at the end right there. A cheeky little strike. Good movement on the ball. And Quilter, to their credit, coming out with some good stuff. Next up to the plate, though, it's going to be Kyle Jenkins. And they'll watch that first pitch go. Looks to be just again on the outside. So strike number one. Really liking Quilter's positioning on these pitches. He's really attacking the outside of the box right now. I imagine it won't be long until we start to see the Hervey Bay batters actually maybe kind of creep inside a little bit more. That one, though, gets away from him on the riser. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Still waiting to see what Jenkins is looking for here. Kyle hoping for something. And that one looked right down the middle. So that's going to be strike two. And again, the velocity. Quilter not afraid to keep it above the plate right now. We haven't really seen him attack the outside of the zone just yet. Except for on a couple pitches that got away. That one is going to be low. And, well, speaking of getting away, another pitch in the dirt, 2-2 count. I'd like to see, if possible, again, to get back to the corners right now. Last time it was a little bit of the change of tempo. That got the last out. Let's see if that comes out again. Nope, it's going to be high and fast. Thought that was a strike. He's going to be a little bit disappointed with himself there. Full count now. Chance for the last out of the inning. It was the 2-out hitting that gave up 3 runs against Toowoomba in the previous game. Big pitch, and that one's just going to be driven straight to center field. Running grab, bobbled, and dropped. Oh, a bit of an error right there, and the throw winds up high. A double for Kyle Jenkins. There was a chance for a play right there, but unfortunately, center fielder Lewis Codd let that one drop. And that's going to be hopefully not an injury. A little slow to get up right now. I'm looking at their ankle right there as players will kind of go out to sort of check on them for the briefing. It looks like he's up and good. So, the 2-out hitting bug strikes again. A beautiful double for Kyle Jenkins. Maybe a bit of a frustrating play for Codd. Either way. Next up to bat will be Josh Hartwig, the catcher for Hervey Bay. And now we are in that situation where what looked to be a routine inning gets a little bit more dire. See what Josh Hartwig will be able to bring out. Very far back in the box stance right now. And again, kind of keeping it away. Ball 1. Again, so far what we've seen from Quilter is they're not afraid to attack the strike zone. So again, I think patience is the way to play. You can wait for that right pitch, and well, that one ain't going to be it. Ball gets away from the catcher, and that's going to advance the runner to third. So Jenkins now Just a single away from getting Hervey Bay on the board. As Howard wants another one kind of get behind him. Again, it does feel like Quilter. It's either right down the middle or it's been in the dirt or high and wide. It just hasn't really honed in. Some of those accurate pitches we saw before. Another high one. Not going to chase that. I believe that makes the count 3-0 at the moment. Walks are okay in this situation, as long as you can get that out. That one, though, very hittable. Again, going to center field. Cod looking for the running grab. Is going to let it bounce. It falls in for the single, and Hervey Bay, 2-out hitting once again. Gets them on, well, kind of bites Toowoomba, I should say. I shouldn't say once again for Hervey Bay, but what I am going to say is, yeah, Toowoomba's just struggling with those third outs. Something carry over from the last game. RBI for Kyle Jenkins, so they're going to be happy with that. And that one is going to lead to another steal. Another sort of errant pitch, and you can see a little bit of visible frustration on Quilter's face after that one. Started off so strong, but now starting to miss those marks. And for Toowoomba again, you know, start off what could be, you know, a long campaign with 3-0 start would be great for them. But Hervey Bay, I mean, on the opposite side, you have to look at them and what this game could mean for their campaign. 1-1 at the moment. You don't really want to like drop 2 games on day one and put yourself in that situation where you pretty much need to win out for your best chance at the finals. As that's going to be a good reach and hit. Power behind that one again to the center field, but this time Cod will be able to bring it in for the 3rd out. So, unfortunately for Connor Pashley, not able to keep the rally going. Hervey Bay can't be too disappointed. They get one on the board. So, the end of the top of the first, it's going to be 1-0 for Hervey Bay. As we gear up and kind of get ready to go for the bottom of the first with Gordon, Cod, and Howard getting ready to step up to the plate. There we go. Bottom of the first. Callum Gordon stepping up to the plate. Now, Callum Gordon, again, 3-run shot earlier in the day, straight down center field, gave Toowoomba that first inning lead, as that first pitch will be high. On the mound on the other side, it is Dan Becker pitching for the Hervey Bay. And we'll see what Dan's got. Another high pitch, so it's coming up fast but high. And good eyes from Callum Gordon to be going 2-0 to start this count. I mean, we've seen already. Don't want to give Callum Gordon those meatballs down the middle. They will be looking to punish you for that. And there's another pitch that was high and getting a little bit chippy from the benches after this one. A 3-0 start. Callum Gordon. See if he'll be looking to attack this pitch count. That pitch is going to be outside, so a 4-0 walk to start off the Toowoomba inning. not the ideal start for Becker. As that will bring to the plate Lewis Codd. Now, Lewis Codd almost had an amazing running grab that ended the inning before, and because that one got away, it did lead to Hervey Bay getting that first run, so they're going to love a bit of redemption. Another pitch is high, yet Codd was looking for it. It's going to be strike one. Get themselves centered again now. In the previous game, we did see Lewis Codd pull off the sacrifice bunt in this position, and they were looking for it again. Not going to find it. Yeah, Codd not afraid to bunt it, should the action call for it. This time, though, they opt to hold. Here we go. Showing bunt again. Switches it for a swing. It's going to be a little chopper to third base, and call of the play, I believe, was foul. So runners will go back. 2 strikes now on the count after the foul ball. So it's a 1-2 count. Lewis Codd again, showing bunt. Ooh, ball curves inside. That'll move us to 2-2. A little bit of defensive pitching right now, trying to avoid that sack bunt situation. I mean, it did advance runners before. That pitch is going to be high and eyeing down Gordon on the first base. Of course, the catcher for Hervey Bay, eyes will be on Josh Hartwig. Did get that single in the previous game, which was the RBI single, actually, as that's going to be hit foul behind us right there. All right, full count. So to go from 2-0 to a full count, and again, a bit of defensive swing in that one inside. A little bit off the sweet spot. Ball gets pushed foul. Pitch count starting to build right now, so definitely testing Becker a little bit. Having a quick conversation in the field as we wait for the ball to be returned in this one. Definitely, you know, it could start to right the ship. Codd doing a good job, though, fighting back from that 2-0 start. You know, had the strike and then the couple foul balls, but also to still be threatening bunt on the full count as well. Definitely giving Becker a lot to think about as we get a double check on the count. Here we go. Again, feigning bunt. Swatches to a swing, and he gets him looking low when the pitch goes high. Strikeout number 1 for Becker. Much needed strikeout as well. Still good at bat for Codd, I have to say. Got a lot of pitches, saw a lot right there, so we'll see what their next at bat looks like. Thomas Howard now stepping to the plate. Thomas Howard did get a single in the previous game. He's going to start off with the foul behind himself, so 0-1 count. Open things off. Keeping eyes on Callum Gordon as well on first base, looking for those steal opportunities. Hasn't really had a chance now. A little bit more relaxed in their stance right here. Has a bit of explosive speed though, so something to keep the eyes on. Count goes to 1-1. Becker gets themselves recentered. Very forward stance in the box. As, woo, that pitch low and behind. That will advance the runner to second. Very, very awkward pitch right there again. Trying to look low, maybe force the double play ball. A bit too low, and Howard wasn't swinging at that, so. 2-1 count. Runner in scoring position. Toowoomba looking to respond to that early run from Hervey Bay. They're going to have 2 opportune chances for it with the heart of the lineup. As that one is going to be called a strike. It was high, but straight down the middle. Ethan Robertson up next on deck as well. And Robinson as well, another player who was able to pop a single in the last game. 2 batters who have seen success back-to-back. 2 strikes, though. And that one's going to be popped high and foul, well and truly, out of the field of play. Credit to the Toowoomba batters right now. They are not going down easy in this inning. Definitely challenging this pitcher. And when every out is a tough out, like that will build throughout the game. Especially when it's your third game of the day. That pitch very high. And once again, a full count facing Becker. Last time, Becker was able, went high, got caught to chase. We'll see if they go high again. They do, but it's a little too high. That's going to be a walk. 3 batters, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Seems to go either way. And now, runner on first and second. Fourth on the lineup, Ethan Robertson, the right fielder. Last game, Ethan Robertson actually wasn't even in the field. Just kind of was playing as the designated hitter. Struck out their last at-bat, but they were able to get a hit against Redcliffe, and we'll see with a runner in scoring position if they're able to equalize this game. First pitch high once again, but going to be a bit of a chase. First time we've seen Becker actually slow it up a bit on that first pitch, and I feel like Becker is looking for those high ones. Wasn't expecting the slower tempo. That'll be strike number 1. Second pitch even higher. That will be for a ball. Becker's definitely trading those eyes up high. Eventually we're going to see him go low again. I can understand the lack of confidence though. Last time they went low, it was in the dirt, but eventually you're going to have to go back down there. That one's not going to be it, though. It's going to be another one high. It's going to be 2-1 count. Can ill afford to walk here and load the bases. Up next is Declan Quilter, who is the pitcher. As that is going to be called the strike. Apparently caught the inside of the plate. Still not that low pitch that we were kind of looking to see, but good to get himself right back in it. 2-2 count. And that one was inside contact, made double play potential. There's one to turn for 2. Not in time, so they'll get the out at second. However, unable to convert on the double play. Either way, you're going to be happy with that. As Declan Quilter will come up to bat. Runner on third, a chance to tie the game still. This is the first time we're seeing Declan Quilter bat on stream today. Spent the last game on the bench knowing they're going to pitch this one. That first pitch is again, it's hit. It is a high pitch once again. High and fast, Quilter chases 0-1. Get geared up. As we see another one. Oh, that looked spicy. It just curved to the outside at the last moment, and again, got Quilter to chase. So now, 0-2 count. Tough situation to be in for Quilter. And that's going to be straight down the middle for number 3. Bit frustrating, leaving 2 runners on. Good pitching, though, coming out from Hervey Bay. Dan Becker gets 2 strikeouts out of a jam, holds on to the 1-0 lead. We'll be back with the top of the second. Coming up, Powell, Murphy, and Becker. Top of the second, Hervey Bay up to the plate, up by one. Coming up first is going to be Noah Powell in this one. Shorts up. And, so far it's been pretty good sailing. However, the fly ball, awkward spot's going to be called and caught. Good heads-up play right there. That was Cody Lutheran finding the catch. And, you can't ask for a better, start to an inning than that one. One up, one down. Ethan Hervey now stepping into the box. So, already on to the left fielder. We're going to see that pitch. Ooh, bit of heat on that. Declan Quilter, again, that first inning. Kind of got in his head, it looked a little bit towards the latter half of it. But a one-pitch, one-out situation will definitely get a bit more momentum back on their side, and I expect to see a bit more of that confidence with the speed. Problem was on location, and that's just a beautiful single to left field. Well done right there for Ethan Murphy. Couldn't place that one better. Finds, just the bloop shot in. Good contact, good placement, runner on. And that's going to bring up Dan Becker to bat, pitcher for Hervey Bay. This one is going to be very high. Again, a lot of velocity coming out of Quilter, but unfortunately unable to find the strike zone for that first pitch. 1-0 start. Been seeing a lot of players get early success in kind of making contact with Quilter's pitches when he goes after the strike zone specifically. Not really been getting many batters to chase. Now currently 2-0 on the count. This is a big moment for Becker. If that one's going to be low and inside. Runner doesn't advance despite it getting away from the catcher, and that's all well and good. So, unfortunately, for the Toowoomba side, 3-0 count. This is going to be a bit of a battle. A walk will move a runner to scoring position. As that's going to be called a strike, just hitting the top of the strike zone right there. Starting to fight back on this one. 3-1 count. Becker's probably going to be looking to swing on this if it is even close to the strike zone. And that one was down the middle. It's going to be hit foul. A bit too fast for Becker to get fully behind it. Now with the full count. Good effort from Quilter to fight back. Key moment. Pitch is on, and it's going to be knocked to right field, running back and over the head of Ethan Robertson. So that's going to be a double. Runner will hold on third. Great hitting from Beckler to get the double there. Right over Robertson. Big power on that. And it goes back to some of those early problems we've been seeing a bit from Quilter right there. If he's going to throw a strike, they're pretty telegraphed and just full contact, big blast. And now, two runners in scoring position. Only one out. Up to the plate, Matthew Moore, the first baseman. They're going to see a ball straight away. I feel like Quilter's got to do a better job in disguising some of these early pitches right now. We'll see. Next pitch is again high and wide. 0-2. Or 2-0, I should say. And he's, again, it's just another situation right now where Quilter is falling behind in the count early. Doing himself no favors. Matthew Moore. Big opportunity, and again, that one just rises late, a bit too high. So for the second batter in a row, we're looking at a 3-0 pitch count. With two runners in scoring position. Don't want to load the bases, but you'd rather that than putting them across. Unfortunately, we're back to the top of the lineup after this. That ball gets away. As, whoa, the blind flick just in case. Runners opted to hold, but that will load the bases now. And we're back to the top of the lineup. So Lucas Jenkins, who last time they were up, blasted it to right field. like they had good contact. And this is going to cause a bit of a meeting on the mound, understandably so. Big pressure situation for Declan Quilter because, I mean, looking at what we saw before with only one out, Jenkins, yes, didn't get the base hit before, but it was good contact that got them all the way through. And then you also have to be careful because you got Kyle Jenkins up in a couple of batters as well, and if Hervey Bay can get to them, was able to hit the double earlier in the day. We will see if that comes through as meeting will come to its close. How does Quilter attack this? Been falling behind in the count early. First pitch is critical. Would love to see what happens if Quilter can get ahead. And that one is called ball. I like the idea of going back low once again. A little bit of a late sinker, but unfortunately too low. And we're looking at the 1-0 count. Still salvage it. That is going to be contact through the gap between short and third. 1, 2 runs will score. Looking for the double to throw to third. Ball gets away. They're going to be ruled safe. So a timely double for Lucas Jenkins brings 2 across. And Hervey Bay extends their lead 3-0. So really well done from them. Apologies for the delay right there. So at the plate right now, Thomas McCarroll. 2 runners on. Pitch is going to be high and wide for another ball. So 1 out, 2 runners on, still in scoring position. Hervey Bay looking to really get a rally going here. Thomas McCarroll did strike out last time at the plate. As that one is going to be a little bit wide. Ooh, fakes the throw back to third. Actually gets a little bit of the dive happening right there. So Matthew Moore, a bit of posing as well, showing off those legs. Why not? I mean, if you got him, you got to flaunt him. Here we go. Important pitch for Hervey Bay. That one's going to be high and ruled a ball. Bench is getting riled up. Full count once again, and we've been seeing a lot of these already in this game. Here we go. Big pitch for Quilter. And that's going to get him to swing. Second strikeout of the day, both on McCarroll. And now, 2 outs down. Up to the plate comes Kyle Jenkins. Hit a big double their first time at bat. It was a straight shot to center field, where the ball did get away from the center fielder in that situation. So we'll see what they're going to be able to get here, as that first pitch is going to wind up a little bit low. It was Lewis Codd last time who had a chance on the play, and now Kyle Jenkins. If they get another one of those, this game starts to become really problematic for the Toowoomba side. That's a good pitch. Curving just to the outside for a strike. Kyle Jenkins trying to kind of bring this one back. Giving up 2 runs isn't ideal, but Toowoomba would be happy if they can slow it down here. As that is going to be high and inside, called for a ball. Kyle staying focused. You can tell Kyle is a true ball player right there. No gloves, full trust in the grip. You'll love to see it. As that ball goes low, hesitation, able to check himself up. Good eye from Kyle Jenkins, good plate discipline, and now Once again, we're in a tough situation. 3-1 count. Aaron pitch loads the bases for Josh Hartwig, who did have a single last time at bat. That pitch was, whoa, right in the strike zone right there. Kyle, that was probably the pitch they were looking for too. It's those risers that just don't get enough height that Hervey Bay has been capitalizing on. And now with the full count, brief meeting on the mound. Another key pitch in an inning full of them. Fourth full count of the inning for Declan Quilter. Sometimes it's just one of those innings where every out you have to earn. Here we go. Big pitch. And that's going to be slammed into the outfield. And this time, once again, it gets behind God. 2 runs will score. Jenkins holds on first. But the Jenkins brothers, the 2 of them combining for 4 RBIs in this inning. Good stuff right there for Hervey Bay. And now extending the lead to 5-0. The inning continues as Josh Hartwig steps to the plate. Already has 1 single in this game. 2 out hitting. Coming up very clutch. Great play from Kyle Jenkins right there, who has now had 2 deep shots to center right. And that really is getting Toowoomba in a bit of a hole right now because 3 runs does seem feasible. Again, that we saw Toowoomba get, the 4-run inning in that last game, but 5 is a tough ask. That's going to be a fly ball to the second baseman. Will be collected by, I believe that was Cody Lutherand. And that will do it for the top of the second. So, 4-run score from both of the Jenkins brothers, 2 RBI each, as we head to the bottom of the second. And we are back, bottom of the second, about to get underway. Toowoomba down by 5. Going to be starting off 6th in the lineup is Cody Luchterhand, stepping up, the second baseman. Last game from Cody, we did see him get 1 single. Looking to kind of repeat that kind of success. First pitch, going to be called a little bit too inside, I believe, so for ball number 1. Now, Toowoomba in a tough spot, down 5 early. Got a fair bit of work to do to get themselves kind of back up in this one, that last inning. That'll be one they would want to forget for certain, as they gave up 2 big 2 RBI shots. Now we will be seeing Luchterhand followed by Michael Pfingst and then Joshua Maddock on the Toowoomba side. Another pitch winds up high. That's going to make a 3-0 count. So it's got to feel a little bit nice, perhaps, for the Toowoomba side after so many 3-0 starts in the top of the inning. Now they're going to return the favor a little bit. Good eyes from Luchterhen. As that one will be clicked foul. Good pitch to get him to chase, and the ruling is going to be strike. Just checking to make sure that one didn't bounce off the glove. And first base ump says, no, that was the bat. 3-1 count. Cody lines himself up. And that's going to be high and inside for the first walk of the inning. And Dan Becker's third walk of the game. Becker's been giving up a couple of those. Opened up the first inning with a walk actually as well against Gordon. But was able to climb their way out of that. Coming up to the plate right now is Michael Finks. For those of you who saw the first game, you would recognize him as the pitcher who stayed on the mound the entire game. And actually had a very strong pitching performance. Really only one earned run against him. The others kind of came off errors. So it was a good show from Finks, and now we're going to see what he can do at the bat. Of course, also playing third base this game as well. So like a lot of the players who pitch in this league, you see them multi-positional, which is good to see. And Finks, kind of was highlighted as the player to watch on the Toowoomba side. Sees another one go high. Obviously, he's someone who has aspirations of making it to national teams. And performances in events like this is really a chance to keep themselves warm, keep themselves in baseball shape, or softball shape. Freudian slip. Pitch is going to be high. 3-1 count. I just felt the gaze of all the heads turn on me the second I said that. Been watching too much of the World Series and the likes. Here we go, though. Live action in front of us, Michael Finks. Whoa, very high pitch. And that's going to advance the runner second, possibly third as well. Decides to hold back. It's a slow shift to cover third base, and you could see, Luchterhen having their eyes on it, thinking maybe, just maybe, might make a go. Won't be the case, as that's going to be ruled a walk as well. So fourth walk of the game for Dan Becker, as Joshua Maddock is going to step up to plate, meeting on the mound. Very high wild pitch right there. Joshua Maddock, last game, didn't have too much success at the plate, but did get himself, the KE2, one of two that we saw in the game. And, at this stage, anything you could get if you're Toowoomba to get back in at first pitch is going to be low and inside for ball one. Luchterhen getting very anxious out there on second base. I think a steal is potentially on the equation. They would love to get over to third for the easy score. That pitch is going to be high for ball two. And once again, we are in a position where a pitcher is behind. It's been very batter-friendly at bat so far. That pitch, stays low, but the ball will get away. So even though it's ruled a strike, runners advance second and third. 2-1 count. Still no outs in this inning. Toowoomba really doing a good job setting themselves up for something special here. If Maddock can get that hit. So they're really dug in now. Bunts on the equation, showing. Well, back for a proper swing, pitches inside. Very quick reaction. Hartwig keeping their eyes on third base as well. Looking maybe for the pick. 3-1 count. Again, showing bunt. Not buying it, but that pitch is going to be high and wide. That will walk the batter. Third walk in a row for Becker. And that's going to load the bases with no outs. And Thomas Robeck up to the plate. Now, we didn't actually get to see Thomas in the last game. Coming in this game, playing in left field. As Robeck is going to watch that first pitch. and it will be called a strike. Just catching that upper inside corner and maybe even trying to push Thomas off the plate a little bit right there. Now stepping a little bit further back after that first one. Second pitch is going to be high, and that will be a 1-1 count. Becker definitely trying to get batters to chase it high in this situation. Really tough to handle with the loaded bases, still no outs. And that one is going to be chipped and roll well and truly foul. It's kind of up in the air right there. Sometimes with the way the ball spins off the bat, you don't know if it's going to cut inside or out. Yes, it's more likely to roll to the outside, but you could see that one definitely kept everyone on edge. There we go, 1-2 count though. This at bat could be the difference between a big inning and maybe something salvageable. Pitch is going to be high though, 2-2 count. Becker's still got another pitch to play with right here. If Toowoomba though, if they can make this happen, if Thomas can make this happen, that pitch is going to be ruled a ball. So the riser rising a little bit too much. Full count. Bases loaded, down by 5, but no outs. Again, Toowoomba in position. This could be that big inning they need. Becker, though, could get themselves out of the first tough at-bat, as that one's going to be chipped foul. Bit of a defensive swing right there. It was kept inside. Just couldn't quite get the sweet spot of the bat right there. Kind of hit off the handle. Again, another big moment. That is going to be high, and the 4th walk in a row to bring home a run. Toowoomba gets on the board. And now, you're Hervey Bay. How do you handle this? 4 at-bats, 4 walks, and a run scored for Toowoomba. Becker even had the count they were looking for as well. Back to the top of the lineup as well, Callum Gordon has had one big shot before. That one got me to flinch. That was right at my head right there. That's going to be strike 1. Like when I played this game, I did not play catcher, and that's why. Here we go. That one's going to be chipped foul as well. So once again, a good start for Becker. Up 2-0 on the count. Callum Gordon, though, did have the home run in the previous game. That was a 3-1 shot. He could do one better here. Pitch is high. 1-2. This is a big at-bat, Callum Gordon. Shortstop. See that pitch, oh, that will get him to swing, and that's the riser that he had been looking for. And Callum, a little bit frustrated with himself after that. Becker finally might be wrestling some control back over the inning with that strikeout, but still, that's only 1 down, still 2 to go. And from what we saw, yes, Lewis Codd struck out their first at-bat, but it was a tough strikeout. He made Becker work. Lewis Codd has the speed. First pitch is high, ball 1. Kind of crazy that already this early in this game, a bit of a tense moment right now for Becker. So see another pitch right there. That one will be chipped foul again, so 1-1 count. Of course, Lewis Codd, again, that previous game as well, did get himself 1 base hit and 3 at-bats, as well as the sacrifice bunt, which they are showing right now. Bases loaded bunt would be a play. That's going to be popped high and foul behind. 2-1 count. Just as much as this is potential for Toowoomba, if Dan Becker can get out of this inning only allowing 1, that would be something kind of spectacular in and of itself. That pitch is going to curve inside. And the call is going to be a ball. 2-2 count. pressure situation. As, oh, that's going to hit. It's going to hit Cod in the ankle. And that will bring in another score. Bit of the errant pitch right there, a little too far inside. Awkward moment, and now once again we're going to have the meeting. So, yeah, the inside pitch just clips Lewis Cod on the ankle, but unfortunately for Hervey Bay, that will allow another run to score because of the loaded base situation. And this has just been a strange game so far, I think, for the Toowoomba side. Only one batter has gotten out in play. Everyone else, walk or a strikeout. Like, that's just how it is kind of working. I mean, sometimes it be like that. If you want to give Becker credit for anything right now, they definitely are a tough pitcher to get behind. That seems to be the case. Thomas Howard, benefits of a walk last time. They were up to bat. First hit here will be a foul. So we'll open up 0-1 as we are seeing the bullpen. Action in the bullpen for Toowoomba. So it looks like Declan Quilter might not be coming back. And they are warming up. Michael Finks. So there you go. Finks starting to warm up on the Toowoomba side. Let's see another pitch go inside. That's a 1-2-1 count. Again, bases have been loaded for a while. And Thomas Howard, number 3 in the lineup. This is who you want in this situation, but that one chasing low for strike 2. Up next to bat is Ethan Robertson as well, who had that long shot to shortstop. Now, they grounded out last time at bat, but we'll see if that comes up again. Thomas Howard. And that ball stays high, but they'll get him swinging. Another strikeout for Dan Becker, who, despite maybe some pitching problems, still finds their 4th strikeout of the game. And here we go. Ethan Robertson, 4th in the lineup. Grounded out to shortstop before. Now has a chance to bring some runs home. Inside pitch, ball 1. You can definitely see Becker's confidence, though, coming back in. I'm starting to see a bit more motion on the latter half of some of these pitches right now. You know, throughout this entire game so far, actually, Robertson's been the only person to hit a ball in play for the Toowoomba side. Granted, it was that ground out, but everyone else, either walk or a strikeout or the hit by pitch, like we haven't seen. Fielders haven't had to do much this game for the Hervey Bay side. Ethan Robertson right now. Pretty key situation. That pitch rises a little too high. Another ball, 2-1 count. You can tell Robertson's been a player. He's probably been in this position before. I mean, out of all the batters' helmets, it is the dirtiest. Oh, it's going to chase that one. Stays inside and low, strike 2. And I think again, something that a lot of the batters saw before out of Becker was a lot of these high pitches. So the second something seems a little bit lower, yeah, Toowoomba's been swinging at it, thinking, hey, this is going to be one of those more, obtainable ones now. 2-2 count, bases loaded. And that's going to be contact straight to the second base. Ball gets bobbled. Desperate throw. And the ruling is going to be, it looks like the call is out. As there's going to be a little bit of a meeting right there, although Hervey Bay has come off the field. Umpires are discussing, and there's going to be a discussion. The ruling on the play was out, but I mean, static coaches from Toowoomba, they're trying to stay safe. They're trying to say he's off the base, and neither team moving from their positions after that one as the umps have a discussion. So obviously a key moment. And we're waiting to hear what the ruling is, and it looks like they're calling him safe. They're calling him safe. I believe the first baseman's foot was off the bag was what I heard from the Toowoomba coaching side. As the players are coming back out. Now, next question becomes how many runs come across in that situation? Because I imagine the runner would have to go back to third. So it could just be one across. As we wait to see what the ruling is. I'm seeing no runner on third base, so is that going to count for two? Yeah, no runner on third, so it looks like 2 runs across for that one, which would bring the score 4-5. So after the play at first base, off the bag, yeah, 4-5 scoreline. Toowoomba back within 1. Declan Quilter had the bat, and first pitch goes a bit awry, so runners will advance to second and third. 2 runners in scoring position. Declan has a chance right now to move Toowoomba in the lead. This has been a massive inning now all of a sudden for them. Hervey Bay, again, just trying to recover after, the dramas at first base. Here we go, next pitch. It's going to be high. That's going to be ruled another ball, so big moment for Declan. And timeout is going to be called. Timeout because of the bullpen coming back inside to get themselves warmed up, ready to go. Yeah, I mean, Michael Finks is up in 2 at-bats, so yeah, they're thinking, hold on, if this rally continues, stop warming up to pitch. We might need you to swing right now with the way how Toowoomba's luck has suddenly changed in this one. Pitch is going to be low and off the ground. Runners won't advance, but it will be another walk. As Quilter, who struck out their first at-bat, now gets to go to load the bases once again. We go back to the man who started off this inning. We've gone through all 9. It's Cody Luchterhan back to the plate. Dream situation here, potentially, for this Toowoomba side. Loaded bases. A chance to take the lead. Pitch very high. Ball 1. Have to imagine, no matter which way this one goes, this will be Dan Becker's last inning on the mound. As we see a big hit, fly ball, left field, should be able to get underneath it, and it is caught to end the inning. So Toowoomba stopped 1 short of equalizing after the deep shot to left field. Luchterhan will be caught out, and Hervey Bay, they don't give up anymore after the heated discussion off that first base play. And that will take us then back to the top of the third. When we come back, Connor Pashley, Noah Powell, and Ethan Murphy take to the plate. We're back. It's the top of the third. Hervey Bay has the lead by 1, looking for their second win on the afternoon and to take down the undefeated Toowoomba. A chance to extend their lead right now. It's going to be Connor Pashley, second baseman, up to bat first. Last time, they hit a big one out in the center field. Unfortunately, was caught out, but showed that power before. Now on the mound, however, a bit of a change, as we are seeing none other than Michael Pfingst pitching once again. Now, Michael actually pitched a full game in our first up in the doubleheader that we're bringing to you here. So, hopefully their arm is still good. It was a good pitching showing as well for them. Coming through the game, they did allow 3 runs as a team, but I'd say only one of them was earned. The other 2 did come off errors. But the big thing was 6 strikeouts over what turned out to be 4 innings. Just a very, very fast pitcher, very accurate, and has a few looks as well. So a lot of eyes on this pitcher. 1-2 count already to start things off. As looks to go outside, and Bench thought that was over the plate. Ump disagrees. 2-2 count. And I can understand Toowoomba making this change as well. I'm sure they would have loved to rest him, but unfortunately, they kind of brought this game back within scoring, or back within reach, I would say. Full count. And now they're thinking, hold on, we hold Hervey Bay to nothing this inning. We could take the lead that next. So why not? Throw your ace out there, see what happens. Shut down Hervey Bay after that big 4-run inning before in the second. As that pitch is going to be called high for a walk, and maybe not the start Pfingst was looking for, so opens up with a runner on base. Coming up to the plate now, number 15, Noah Powell, shortstop. Last time they grounded out to second base. This time we'll see what they can bring. The runner on already. Whew. Fast pitch right down and through. A little bit inside, but realistically, just a tough one to keep your eyes on when it comes at you that velocity for an opener. Runner staying on first. There's another, more heat being brought this time though. A little bit wide. Moves the count to 1-1. Toowoomba, if they want to make this comeback happen though, can ill afford to give Hervey Bay another, big inning like what we saw before. As that pitch, again, bit of a riser. Didn't really have a chance in, being chased, though. It rose a little bit too early. And that's going to make the count 2-1. Keep eyes on it. Fast pitch, and that one, again, swinging behind. Going to make this a 2-2 count. See what Noah Powell able to bring. Big moment for Noah. And that's going to be across the plate for a strikeout. Michael Pfingst, first of the game, first out of the inning. Stepping up now, number 14, Ethan Murphy, left fielder. Last time Ethan Murphy, though, did start off the rally for Hervey Bay. They got the single, which led to 4 runs in the second. This time, though, it's going to be chipped foul. Runner will come back to first. So let's kind of recenter and refocus themselves. Welcoming breeze coming across the pitch, or the field, I should say, right now. Again, it's been a warm one today. Second ball flipped behind for a second strike. And now, Hervey Bay's going to be feeling the pressure a little bit here. Showing bunt. Murphy pulls back to swing. That one stays low, and the runner will advance to second. This ball gets away from Howard. And again, we did know that, yeah, maybe some of those runs in that last game came off of errors, but sometimes Pfingst will kind of throw it into the ground a bit and give Howard a tough time trying to recover it. That time, though, he goes back high. Trying to throw off, the batter's eyes, but not falling for it. Move the count to 2-2. Feints. Good pitch and called a ball. Bit of a curve at the end. Curve's a little bit too low. And now it's going to be a 3-2 count. Seen a few off speeds here. Don't be surprised if he goes back to the heat right now. Try to get that big out. And that one, it dropped low. Good defensive padding right there. Really looked like Murphy had to dig to find that one. Fortunately, to keep it foul for Hervey Bay. Keep this at-bat alive. Be a little bit careful, though. Those are not the ones you want to be swinging at in this situation. Still full count. Still fading, but and it's going to be a quick timeout. A bit of a mound visit right here. So they're going to strategize on this one. Of course, after Ethan Murphy is going to be Dan Becker, who did have the double as well. Again, just part of that rally, and it was the double that sort of set up Lucas Jenkins to get the first 2-run shot, and then that would be followed by Kyle Jenkins, which is how Hervey Bay got to their 5. Again, the Jenkins brothers, back-to-back double RBI shots. Here we go, full count. And that's going to be called high. And you can see Finks not happy with the call. Runner, though, still advances nonetheless. And we got runners on first and second, only one out, and here comes Dan Becker. It was a big double last time up. This one, whoo! Smoker coming out right there from Finks. Chatting before, was told he can get up to about 115 pretty regularly on some of these pitches, and I feel like we saw something close to it right there. That one as well, low and fast, will be fouled out. 0-2 count. That ball's going to roll away. Hervey Bay would love to keep this inning going. As that's going to be called for strike 3. Just enough rise to get it in the strike zone. And I feel like it was just in the strike zone at the moment of crossing the plate. Then you saw it drop right after. It was low, it was fast, it was accurate. Michael Finks gets the second out of the inning. And now Matthew Moore coming up to bat, the first baseman. And he's just going to watch that first one come across for strike 1. Matthew Moore, he did walk last time. Kind of extended the inning. And I'm very grateful, actually, that we saw him get on base. Here we go. This is a long, high one. Kept in play, but it doesn't matter because it will be caught for the third out. And that will do it for the inning. Matthew Moore. We don't get to see those legs again out on third base. Instead, we see the inning come to the end. So, top of the third, bottom of the third, when we come back, it's going to be Finks, Maddock, and Robeck when we come back. Bottom of the third in a one-run game. If Toowoomba plays this one correctly, this could be the final inning of the game. More likely than not that we'll probably have one more after this, but as it stands, Toowoomba needs a big inning. Finks, Maddock, and Robeck will be coming to the plate. All of them walked last inning, last time they were up, and kind of led to a big one for the Toowoomba side. Of course, we are seeing a pitching change, actually, from Hervey Bay, and didn't get a chance to catch the number. If that could be passed on to me, that would be ideal. If we could see that as we see the first pitch come through for a strike. As we will hopefully get the pitcher's name for you. I believe it is Noah Powell then on the mound. So Noah Powell moving over in this situation from shortstop to pitcher, and you can see the new shortstop is actually been Josh Hartwig. So kind of a few swaps happening over on the Hervey Bay side. Whew, big windup and a powerful pitch right there. That's going to be a strike as Finks was looking. Not able to get that there. So a lot of people moving around, actually. Catcher moves to shortstop. Shortstop moves to pitcher. And now catching, I believe that is, wait. Yeah, catching is now Lucas Jenkins. So yeah, so we moved right field then to catcher. Well, now the question becomes who's out there at right field. Everyone moving around to Hervey Bay, because why not? I mean, you're kind of at that stage of the game when you get the new pitcher, you got to adjust how you can. Either way, that's going to be strike 3, so Michael Finks will go down. And Noah Powell starts their inning off right. Coming up to the plate now is going to be Joshua Maddock. Walked last time up. And they did get on base previous game, but we'll be looking to repeat that performance. Showing bunt. Goes back, look for the swing. Pitch stayed high. Strike 1. High and straight in that situation. As Maddock keeps their eye on it. See the swing again. This time going to be called a ball. Similar spot of the last one, but a little bit higher this time around. Toowoomba can ill afford a poor ending here, though. Hervey Bay's bat system felt a little bit too accurate. As we're going to see another high pitch for a 2-1 count. No Powell. We'll see what they can bring. Again, feigning bunt. Hops against it. That time will be seen. And that one will be ruled a strike to make it a 2-2 count. Maddox definitely has been making Powell work here. And that one gets him to chase the high pitch. That's going to be strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. Noah Powell coming out and having an immediate impact on this game. After Becker threw a lot more pitches than I think they were willing to start us off before. Powell coming in fresh, 2 quick strikeouts, and now Thomas Robeck steps to the plate. And a bit of a dire situation there for Toowoomba. As we can see them stepping up right now. It's a lot of positional change for Hervey Bay, but they're pretty content with it. Moment though, Robeck, gonna swing at that. Comes up. That's going to be another strike. I laugh every time. It takes a lot of training to know not to flinch and trust the fence in front of you, is what I'll say. See another one come through. That's going to be strike 3, and that is going to be an amazing inning for Noah Powell. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. Hervey Bay holds on to their 1-point lead, and that will do it for the 3rd inning. So when we come back in the 4th, it's back to the top of the order for Hervey Bay. Lucas Jenkins, Thomas McCarroll, and Kyle Jenkins when we return. And we're back. It was a quick turnover in the innings right there, but straight into it. Lucas Jenkins at the plate right now. Hervey Bay Toowoomba, I think, rushing things along because they know time running out. So they want to get in and out of this inning as fast as possible. Ground ball to third base. Bobbled a bit, scooped up. Throw is there. And the call is out. Just got him at first base. Good grounder right there, collected. Of course, it's not Michael Finks no longer over there. That's actually number 21. That was David Howard with the fielding. It wasn't the cleanest catch, but just enough and a powerful throw to get that first out. So, up to the plate right now comes Thomas McCarroll as, whoa, pitch gets away a bit from Finks right there. Kind of a misstep on the windup. That was a big first out, though. Again, Toowoomba trying to speed through this inning. As it's going to be another ground ball, just bouncing foul. Looking to attack the first base line. Good placement for Thomas McCarroll. He's had a bit of a rough one so far today. 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts for the opening center fielder. Hervey Bay right now, the best thing they can do is have an extended inning. That is their goal. They got to play the clock a little bit now. High pitch counts, long at-bats, and maybe a run or 2. And that would be the ideal inning. 2-1 count. In a moment for McCarroll. That's the left-hander. Watches that one go low and away. Make this a 3-1 count. Here we go. Getting themselves settled once again. I mean, good. Obviously 3-1, known as, the ideal pitch count for a batter. Question will be, though, will he commit? And not when the pitch is placed there. That's going to be a walk. And that's going to be the first runner on. So there we go. And coming up to the plate right now, Kyle Jenkins. Kyle already has 2 RBIs to his name in this game. Back in that second inning, Kyle, again, he had that, it was only a single, but it was a well-placed single, brought 2 runners in. As we're going to see the steal attempt coming through, slide in, ball gets away, and he'll keep running. All the way to third base goes Thomas McCarroll. I'm not going to say that was the most predictable moment, but everyone around me told me to keep my eyes on the base runner there, and I see why. Quick, calm, and cool. No emotion from Thomas either after that play. He is focused, like, yep, that was the status quo. And now with a runner in scoring position, Kyle Jenkins already 2 for 2 on the day. Michael Finks has his work cut out for him here. Of course, with Josh Hartwig right behind as well. Again, the heart of the lineup, 3 and 4. Tough spot to be in. Low pitch, but it was fast, and that will get him swinging. For another strike. 2-1 count. High pitch. Throw back to third. Not going to find anyone this time. And once again, 3-1 count. Tough position to be in for Kyle. A good position, I should say. It's a tough position for Michael. Pitch is going to come through, and it's going to be called a strike. So a full count right now in one of the two tougher at-bats. In fact, arguably the toughest at-bat Toowoomba has faced. Kyle Jenkins, chance to extend the lead. Will go down swinging. Pitch was inside and kind of jammed up the swing in motion right there. Good placement from Fink. Third strikeout of the game. And now up to the plate comes Josh Hartwig. Started the game actually from the catcher position, and we saw him kind of move over to shortstop, I believe. Now we'll see what he can do. Swinging, and that's a no-doubter. Goodbye. Hervey Bay puts another 2 across. My goodness. That ball's still in the air. Now someone way out there from the field over is able to pick it up. And that will extend this one to a 7-4 game. What a shot from Josh Hartwig. When you know, you know. And the second that ball made contact off the bat, it was gone. And now Toowoomba. Their job just got a lot harder when we get to the bottom of this inning. Coming up to the plate will be Connor Pashley, but that was definitely a big moment. Josh Hartwig again. I wish I could get a actual distance of that shot, but my goodness, it was absolutely creamed. An immediate meeting happened on the mound. Everyone's able to recover right now. Connor Pashley, he's still not done. Pashley did get that deep shot to center field back in the first inning. It was caught out. They were walked their last at bat. So the power hitters, there's still threat of another. We could see the back-to-back. As that one is also going to get shot, and this time against center field, but it will fall down for a single. And this will just keep play rolling. And again, for Hervey Bay, this is just eating up the clock at this stage. As we are nearing the end, Noah Powell should be stepping up to bat and is. Struck out their last at-bat. As the first pitch will be red high. Still going to be Ethan Murphy up next as well, who, had that single way back when. Can be a threat. And this one is, ball gets chipped, fair in play. Running play, gets away from Finks. You can see tried to scoop it up, ready to find the quick flip, but just wasn't able to corral the ball, so it will be ruled an infield single. And Noah Powell gets himself on base, bringing up Ethan Murphy now. Had a single back in the second inning. Again, if you go back to that second inning when the rally started that put Hervey Bay in the lead, it started off Ethan Murphy. And for Michael Finks, this has been a rougher one for him. So again, seeing the meeting on the mound right now, coaching, getting involved. Just that bit of a prep talk, trying to strategize what to do on this inning right here. Again, for Toowoomba, they will get one more chance. I believe we'll finish off the fourth, and that will probably do it for this game. So Hervey Bay, they've done their job in just sort of extending the lead right now. And they can add to it once again. Ethan Murphy. As I'm not going to get an immediate chance on this one. Pitch is down, and that's going to be strike one. Got him to chase on the lower pitch. Good placement. Finch right now needs to just kind of stop this inning here, realistically. I think if more runs go through, Hervey Bay probably wins this game. That's going to be a grounder, and it gets past the shortstop. 1 run scores. The second will hold on third. Runner goes all the way to second, however. So Ethan Murphy with a double, extending the lead by another. And that's going to make this an 8-4 game. Hervey Bay very happy now. We're seeing number 26, Tom Holt, come to bat. First time seeing him bat today, replacing Dan Becker. Let's see what Tom Holt can bring. Keep the inning going. Runners on second and third. A chance to extend this game for Hervey Bay. First pitch. Be ruled outside. Ball 1. Hervey Bay definitely, get some momentum going for themselves. Now Tom Holt did go in to left field. See that next pitch. That's going to be swung on and ruled a strike, obviously. Couldn't quite make contact for the foul either way. Will be a 1-1 count. So should this game continue, it would be opening with Callum Gordon back on the Toowoomba side. And you don't want to look ahead too early. However, Toowoomba definitely is going to have their work cut out for them. Fortunately for them, it will be the start of the lineup. But again, the start of the lineup so far this game has been a bit cold for the Toowoomba side. One would argue that they're due, however, it's going to be a tough pull either way. 4-run differential, and it could be more, depending on what Tom Holt can bring. That pitch is going to be high. 2-1 count. 3-1 count, apologies. So here we go. If we see the big swing here, Tom Holt watches that one sail high. That's going to be another walk. And that will extend this inning a little longer. As coming up to the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs. Matthew Moore, once again. They blasted one to left field before, and it was caught out. So a bit unfortunate there, but we'll see what they can find. First pitch, very high. Runners go to advance, flip back. Yeah, pitcher's not there in time. Finks couldn't quite get back to the mound. So the run will score on the errant pitch, and that's going to make this a 9-4 game for Hervey Bay. And the runners will go to second and third as well. So everyone advances. And the fun bases loaded moment, last one pitch moment, kind of getting the Finst right there. We'll see what Matthew Moore can do. See another witch. That one going to be ruled low for a ball. As Hervey Bay continuing with this. Pitch on, pitch high, another ball. The riser just rising a little bit too much. 3-1 count. And this is exactly what I think Matthew Moore is going to be looking for. We saw him get a big blast before. There's power behind Moore. Watches that pitch. It was inside, but it clipped the plate, so full count. Here we go. And this is, again, for Matthew Moore. I mean, at this stage, Hervey Bay should be comfortable with their lead, but they want to add to it as the pitch count extends. Visible fatigue on Finn's face after that one. A little bit of frustration right there. He wants to get out of the sun, and I can't blame him right now. If Toowoomba's going to make this game turn around, they're going to need a big inning. Big bottom of the fourth. Here comes the pitch, and that's very high. Runners won't advance, but Matthew Moore, will go to first base, load the bases once again. Second walk of the game for Matthew Moore. And we go back to the top of the lineup with Lucas Jenkins. He had that double back in the second. Can he get another one? A double here would well and truly put this game out of reach. First pitch, catches the inside of the plate. That's going to be strike 1. Outside of the double, though, we have seen him fly out over to right field as well as ground out to third. He's made contact every at-bat. That one, a bit too wide, 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and again, this inning started off so strong for Toowoomba, but then it was Josh Hartwig's big blast that kind of really let this game get away from him. Pitch is high, ball is dropped, but no runners will advance. Quickly scooped back up by Howard. 2-1 count. So the count staying 2-1. Time lining up. Pitch is down, ball gets chipped behind for foul, strike 2. Yeah, that one looked hittable. That one looked very hittable to Jenkins. Looked to be, again, a late curve that just kind of floated there. But I think Jenkins was looking for a riser and just kind of got a bit too above the ball. That time, though, has to reach, extends it, but makes contact, doesn't matter. It's a ground ball to the shortstop, and that will end the top of a very long fourth for the Toowoomba defense. Hervey Bay, they put another 3 on. Big blast from Josh Hartwig, extending their lead. And we're going to go to one more break. When we come back, it's the top of the lineup for Toowoomba. They need to put 5 on the board. Gordon, Codd, and Howard when we return. Bottom of the fourth, Toowoomba, they need to find at least 5 runs here, but with Noah Powell on the mound, 3 strikeouts straight through the third before, and already we're seeing more of that speed coming out of Powell. Powell's had a great game for himself today, admittedly. Came in to pitch in the third, and has looked quite flawless. It is Callum Gordon up to bat first. Again, he had that home run in the game prior to this. However, so far in this game, all we've had is the walk. So with the 2-1 count, here we go. 2-1. So we see another pitch, a lot of speed, but it was on the outside. 3-1 count. Opportunity here for Callum Gordon now. Toowoomba, they need to get out to a fast start, I feel like, this inning. If they fall behind like they did before, they've got to find a way to get hits on Powell here. That's going to be a strike right there. Low rise, kept it just in. And now a full count. Powell going for his 4th strikeout in a row. There we go. And that's going to get the batter to chase. Ball popped up, caught by Powell himself. And that's going to be out number 1. 2 to go for Hervey Bay, who, while sitting on a comfortable 9-4 lead, I mean, Love to finish this one out strong. Up to the plate now, it will be 28, Wade Codd. So Wade coming in for his brother. Lewis, you know, last time was hit by the pitch. Wade, though, you have to go back to the game prior. Last we saw him, he was leading out. Got a single last at bat, if you go back to the game against Redcliffe. First at bat here, though. See if he can get a little bit of a streak going. Toowoomba really trying to rally on Wade, and why not? As that one, was a late riser, got Wade chasing for another strike. Here we go, another pitch. And that's going to be contact, gets behind the third base line, so powerful strike straight through, gets Wade Codd on board. Single to open up, and all of a sudden, maybe Toowoomba's got a bit of life. Next up, though, will be Thomas Howard. Last time up to the bat, did strike out. That was against Dan Becker, however. This will be his first time facing Noah Powell. And we'll see how it goes. Thomas Howard, you know, it's had a little bit of a cold streak. Been a few at bats since he's got himself a hit. It was way back at the start of the day last time he was able to get himself on. There is speed, though, at first base, so a steal is not out of the equation. That said, Toowoomba probably doesn't want to risk anything just yet. As the pitch comes through, foul ball. Almost taking out our camera there on that one. That's all good. Again, Thomas just needs to keep the rally going for Toowoomba at this stage. Get on base by any means necessary should be the MO, as nearly getting picked off back at first, and those are the type of things you cannot afford to risk. It's a long inning for Toowoomba. If they get themselves back in it, there's no need to put that much pressure on taking second base yet. 2-1 count. A strikeout would be pretty catastrophic. As that's going to be hit foul again. And now we're starting to see a little bit of that defensive hitting. I just feel like with how hot Noah Powell has been right now, if Toowoomba is going to keep this going, play's got to be scrappy, and I think we saw that from Wade Codd before with that line drive to third. That one is a tough one to hold back on. A bit too inside, though, so good eyes from Howard. Makes it a 2-2 count. Very forward in the batter's box. Howard really wants to get on top of some of these fast pitches. Lets that one roll. Steal attempt to second. And the call is safe. So that is going to be full count, runner on second. They avoid the double play ball with that, and it opens up maybe, you know, more ground ball choices. But again, it's a 5-run deficit. Just a risky steal either way. Pitch is inside. That's going to be a walk. So the first blemish on Powell's record right there with the walk. Still only one out, and we're going to see a timeout called as Hervey Bay looks to have a quick chat on the mound. Coming up now will be Ethan Robertson. Had a single the game prior. Has had a single in this game. Pretty consistent batter so far. Since we've seen him at bat, currently kind of sitting at a 2 for 4. He's batting .500. Throw a walk in there as well for good measure. Has gone on base 3 out of the 5 times we've seen him at the plate. Going 4 for 6 not only means there's a reason why you're batting number 4, but also, again, Toowoomba in this sort of stay alive by any means necessary mentality. Need a big moment here. Oh, that pitch a little bit inside. It had the right elevation that Robertson was looking for, but the speed, again, the velocity at which Powell's kind of throwing these, it's really been difficult for the Toowoomba batters just to keep their bat behind it. That one again just kind of floats in that upper corner of the strike zone, forcing you to swing, and it's really tough to get behind the ball when it's placed right there. Like, contact can be made, but solid contact will always be difficult. 0-2 count. Actually stepping a little further back in the box now. And he, yeah, 2 pitches high. The third one goes low, gets him swinging. And that's going to be another strikeout. 2 outs, 1 more to go. As number 21, that is David Howard, steps to the plate. Last chance for Toowoomba here. Their undefeated day in jeopardy. First pitch will be called a strike. Pressure on. I mean, it was 2 out hitting that got Toowoomba their win in the game prior. This would be the fine time to start it now. As we wait to see. Pitch is going to be inside. That's going to be a ball. So we continue looking for the moment. David Howard. It's going to make contact, balls, foot high, foul. Come overhead. Now David Howard last game didn't actually fielded last game, but never actually had a chance to bat. So this is the first time seeing him bat. And what a clutch position to be in. 1-2 count. Pitch is on. Contact's made. It's a fly ball to third, and that's going to do it. The game is over. Kyle Jenkins puts this one away, and Hervey Bay will secure the 9-4 victory. Toowoomba gets their first loss of the tournament. Hervey Bay also advances to 2-1 in the standings. And it was a back-and-forth affair for sure. Highlight, Josh Hartwig. And probably, who would I call the MVP in that one? Josh Hartwig's home run was a big moment. Had the single as well. But I got to go back to Noah Powell's pitching performance. Came in the third inning and really shut things down. So, well done, Hervey Bay, either way. Of course, if you missed the start of the day as well, you would have seen Toowoomba get their win against Redcliffe through the pitching of Michael Pfingst. This time around, a little bit of a struggle. That's going to do us, though, here for today. Thank you so much for watching along, and if you're watching this VOD later, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day.